Hey Collab Stores, it's Tuesday. So I didn't know what I wanted to do for this week's theme of gender, and then yesterday in class I was watching a movie called Celluloid Closet about gays and lesbians in film history, and they showed this one scene from a 1932 movie with this woman who dressed up inside of a suit and then went out into like a bar, and it was really interesting because it turned both the guys and the girls on. The girls because she looked damn good in a pantsuit, and the guys because she was like confident and sexy or whatever. So that's when I thought that I should make this video about transgenders or cross-dressers or whatever, because it takes a lot of courage, especially if they're already famous in the public eye, to go out and do that. So this is my top 5 list of my favorite transgenders that I found from Googling for 10 minutes. Laura Jane Grace, formerly known as Thomas. She's the lead singer of Against Me, a freaking punk rock group, and when she came out as transgender last year that she wanted to become a woman, one, her wife was super supportive, which is just really awesome, and two, she knew that that was not going to change the band. So last year, just 2 months after she announced that she was going to be transgender, she came out in concert with her group and just rocked the stage as a woman, not giving any fucks. Number 2, Sadie, an 11-year-old transgender girl who wrote an essay in response to Obama's inaugural speech, because it was the first time that he'd ever mentioned, or any president had ever mentioned, gays or lesbians in an inaugural speech in his reference to Stonewall, but he said nothing about transgenders. So she wrote an essay in response, and the very opening line is, "The world would be a better place if everyone had the right to be themselves, including people who have a creative gender identity and expression." I can't even talk like that. Holy crap. Transgender kids like me are not allowed to go to most schools because the teachers think we are different from everyone else. Why? It would be a better world if everyone knew that transgender people have the same hopes and dreams as everyone else. We like to make friends and want to go to school. Transgender people want to get good jobs and go to doctors like they are exactly the same. It really just isn't that hard to like transgender people because we are like everyone else. We're 11 years old. Number 3, Adela Hernandez, who recently became the first transgender person to hold public office in Cuba. But the really cool thing about it is that in the 1980s, she was arrested and imprisoned for 2 years because her creative identity expression went against some decency laws in Cuba. So she's been arrested for being a transgender, and now she freaking holds public office for it. That's awesome. Quote from her, "As time evolves, homophobic people, although they will exist, are the minority." She said becoming a delegate is a great triumph. Oh, she's so cute. She was born in central Cuba, and her family disowned her, and it was actually her father who turned her into the police. And now she freaking holds public office. I seriously can't get over how amazing that is. Something else I didn't know. The country's most prominent gay rights activist is Mariela Castro, and she's actually the daughter of the president right now. Number 4, Lena Wachowski. Her, along with her brother, wrote the screenplays for V for Vendetta, The Matrix, Speed Racer, Cloud Atlas, and her brother also directed Speed Racer and The Matrix, which is just awesome. I had never heard of her before, but she was really cool. She came out, and her original name was Lawrence, and now she's just fucking taking Hollywood by storm. Good for her. Number 5, Sister Mary Elizabeth Clark, who was freaking nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in 2005. She was born Michael Clark and was a chief petty officer in the Navy, and then later on underwent a sex change operation and became Joanna Clark, and then she joined the Army. And then a year and a half later, her higher-ups found out about her history, that she used to be a guy, and they discharged her from the Army. In the 1970s, she was an activist for transsexuals, and I'm just going to read it, was instrumental in winning the right of Californians to have their gender changed on their birth certificates and driver's license. Born in 1938 from Michigan, still alive. She's badass. Anyway, there you have it. My top 5 list of my favorite transgenders that I found from Googling for 10 minutes. Brett, I'll see you tomorrow.